Okay.
Oh,
There it is right there. Okay, great. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. I'm Ricky Smith. I am so excited to invite you to our very first Speakers Funhouse interview. Woo, 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 woo. I'm all excited about this because this is the first interview for this channel, and I'm sure there's going to be more. But don't forget, make sure you subscribe to this channel, share it with your network. Go over also to our Facebook page at Stratus Trains and our Instagram because we're going to be putting stuff out there as well. So, y'all see her. You don't understand the fangirl that is me right now. Y'all, this is the fabulous, the amazing international speaker, author, trainer, and master speaker trainer. Y'all say hello to my friend Arvee Robinson. Woo, 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 woo. Hi, Arvee. How are you?
okay, I'm great. So excited to be on your first episode.
Woo, woo. Me too. This is so
What an honor.
cool. Oh, the honor is all mine. Y'all, full disclosure. Arvee is not only fabulous, amazing rock star, bodybuilder, bikini champion, to include a whole big crown. She's also my coach for speaking. I think all coaches should have coaches, y'all. And if you think I'm
Amen.
kidding, this woman, when I say she's a rock star, y'all, this is the Bible that I have at my desk at all times. It's Speak Up, Get Clients by the fabulous Arvee Robinson. So I'm not just talking this, man, I'm living this.
Yeah.
Arvee, my friend, tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about you and your public speaking journey.
Ooh, okay. Well, I've been teaching public speaking for 21 years, but
Wow.
when I never planned on doing it. It was I grew up and said, "Oh, I want to be a speaker coach."
Right.
Uh, I was in corporate America, loved corporate America, and they asked me to get up and speak to sell their products and services because at that time it was a brand new service, which was actually computerized accounting. It was way back
Wow.
in the 80s, so it was a big deal. So,
Mm.
I thought, okay, piece of cake. I wasn't scared or anything. I thought, okay. So I wrote out my speech, took my notes up there to the lectern, right? And
Right.
and then I lost my place. And I'm
Wow.
my notes and I mean I was so embarrassed and it was back then because it was software I was talking about. It was a
Mhm.
male audience primarily.
Sure. Yeah.
Audience, very smart, the nerdy people. So I couldn't fake it. And I just was so embarrassed that I kind of ran off stage. And I decided in that moment,
Hmm.
I didn't run, but I was like,
Right.
back notes and walked off, with my
Hmm.
tail between my leg. And I thought in that moment that, that's not going to happen to me again, that I was going to learn public speaking, not
Yeah.
only learn it, but I was going to master it.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I set out on my journey to do. And so
Hmm.
I took all kinds of classes. I hired mentors. I
Hmm.
went to seminars. I read books. I did everything. I
Hmm.
and then it wasn't long before would go out and speak and I would get clients. And I
Right.
thought to myself, wow, when you know how to do it right, this stuff really works.
Right.
Yeah. So then I started using it for upward mobility within
Hmm.
my firm,
Right.
right? And so I started getting, promotions and raises
Hmm.
and speaking in management
Whoop,
meetings.
whoop.
Woo, woo, woo. And so I reached the top that, after about 10 years,
Hmm.
actually 23 years I was in the industry. 23 years I reached the top that I could go.
Hmm.
That was the senior manager. And
Hmm.
because I wasn't a CPA, I was in the CPA program.
Sure.
I couldn't be a partner. So
Hmm.
I said, well, it's time to make a change. I
Right.
didn't know what kind of change to make. So I did what any smart girl would do. I prayed about it.
There you go.
And God said, teach others what I've taught you. And I
There
knew
you go.
exactly what he meant, public speaking.
That is
So
so good.
21 years ago,
Here we
I
are.
single and I've been training, thousands and thousands of people, entrepreneurs and business owners ever
Yeah.
since.
It's so good that you said that. And a lot of people watching who are speakers or want to be speakers, they're kind of in that same place. They do the meetings, they lead the meetings, they do the presentations. But you and Arvie, you and I both know they're not doing it really well. It
Right,
just is what it is. You make your notes, you make your points, you get up there, you do your thing, and you leave. When you're training this for business owners, what are some of the tips that you want business owners or business leader, corporate people to know about standing up in front of people to make a productive presentation? What would you tell them?
Number one is to practice, rehearse, outline, get it all ready to go. See, what happens is most business owners and most people, whether
Hmm.
it's a meeting, whether it's a prepared speech, whether it's a, at a wedding, they
Yeah.
don't practice. They just wing it.
Winging it, y'all.
Wing it, you get wing it results. And then it makes you nervous, right? Because you don't know what's going to,
Right.
because you're not in control.
That's
Where
so
all
good.
you have to do, even if it's a meeting, practice what you're going to say. Oh,
Hmm.
have an opening, welcome,
Yeah.
take charge of that audience. You'll gain respect and
Hmm.
credibility. The audience will listen to you. Your colleagues will listen and
Yeah.
respect you. But when
Hmm.
you sit there and fumble with your papers and you're hemming and hawing and hemming and hawing, nobody respects you and nobody's going to listen to you. And
That's true.
therefore, your ideas, maybe they're good, but they
Hmm.
don't land.
No.
Nobody knows how good they are. And then somebody else hears it and they steal your idea.
Woo, that
Right?
part.
I mean, yeah, because they can sell it better
They can
or they
sell it better.
get it better.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
One of the things I tell folks, when I'm doing the trainings and stuff, business owners, they're really good at what they do. They suck at telling people what they
They
do.
do. But they don't have to suck.
That's
They
right.
learn. It's a learned skill. Public speaking is a learned skill.
Yeah.
And the key here is that, like Lisa Nichols, she says, she
Mm,
goes, there's no natural born speakers.
I
A
love
lot
that.
of people think just because they can flap their jaw that they can
Hmm.
speak in front of a group, and
Yeah.
they can't. Not
Yeah.
so. It's
Hmm.
like, can you imagine a doctor, just because they kind of know how to cut somebody that, without,
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
played a doctor on TV, or I stayed at Holiday Inn Express, so
there you go. Yeah, I've been a doctor on television.
yeah.
Financial planner. I mean, do you
Hmm.
want them, goofing around and messing with your stuff? No. Well,
Yeah.
public speaking, people have to respect it, like
Hmm.
any other industry. Acting,
Yeah.
all of that. Actors take acting lessons,
The truth.
you
They
know?
true. And speakers need to take speaking lessons. Get
Yes,
a speaker coach. Find
yes,
a class to get to. Jump on. And right now, one of the things that you say in your book, which I love, public speaking has changed over the years.
yes.
Can you talk a
Oh,
little bit
yes.
about that?
Absolutely. So if we want to go back a little bit, think about it. Years ago,
Mhm.
audiences would tolerate being bored, right?
Oh yeah.
They would
Oh.
call them lectures, like you're in
Hmm.
school or something. And they would go on for hours,
Hmm.
oftentimes. People would speak for hours. And then the audience said, you know what? After about a decade, it changes every decade. I
Yeah.
don't want that anymore. We want more of a presentation. So then we
Hmm.
started seeing speakers, be more, Shakespeare-like and more presenting and more
Hmm.
formal, right?
Hmm.
But then they weren't connecting. So then a decade went by, and audience says, no, 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 no. We want a conversation.
Oh
A
no, yes. We
conversation with
want to
a
facilitate.
right. So we started to see speakers speak from the heart. So,
Hmm.
but the problem with that is they didn't practice. So then
Yeah.
they rambled and they
Woo.
were too long and they didn't give the audience, it wasn't effective either. They didn't give the
Sure.
audience what they wanted. So
Hmm.
then, audiences said, no, 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 we don't want that.
Hmm.
We want, something that's more authentic and real. Now,
Yeah.
alongside of this, right, our speaking time has gotten shorter and shorter and shorter.
So true.
The audiences don't want to be bored. So they started
Yeah.
out bored with the hour and it went less and less. So now
Hmm.
we're at the point that audiences say, we want you to be real. Real.
Uh-oh.
Like we want to know as a speaker, who are you?
Yeah.
And why should I buy from you?
Hmm.
So they're looking for a connection. Now that
Hmm.
doesn't mean you don't practice. It doesn't mean you wing it. None of that
Hmm.
just means that you share yourself. Because, see, in the past, speakers were politically correct. They
Hmm.
didn't mention God on stage.
Right.
And I'm not saying you want to mention politics. No, you're
Sure.
going to have a mutiny on your hand or something. You can still say what you believe in.
Hmm.
And that way, those people will go, okay, I believe that too.
Hmm.
Or I like dogs. Oh, I
Yeah.
lover. Okay,
Hmm.
that says something. So you tell them more about yourself and
Yeah.
who you are as an
Hmm.
individual and as a person, and then attract those like-minded people.
Yeah. And
Because
that's the thing. Getting the folks to like you If they like you, they will talk to you.
They
If they
will
talk to
buy,
you, they will
they'll buy.
buy from you.
Right,
You know, and as a business owner, we're literally selling all the time. But if your messaging is messed up, if your messaging is convoluted, confusing, or hard to follow, who's buying that?
nobody,
Nobody.
because they
Nobody.
don't know. They're confused and they don't trust you because
Oh,
you
that's
don't
right.
have that sense of who you are.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to be who you are. I mean, that's what I tell people. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Now,
Mhm.
don't dig out all the closets.
This
Dig
is
out
not the time to clean out the skeletons.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people on stage, untrained speakers that get up there and they're telling their story and they're
Mhm.
telling it in such gruesome detail.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Now, we can't unhear it, we can't unsee it. So every time we
Mhm.
look at you, you've got astigmatism. We're going to see that.
Woo!
That
That's
thing
so
happened
good.
to you, right?
Hmm.
Whether they got raped or they this. Now or in jail. Okay, you're a jailbird. You know.
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a mastectomy. I mean, that's all we're going to see here, right?
Right.
So just say, do it in a sense that you just go far enough that your
Hmm.
audience doesn't have questions, but not so far that they're like, right?
Yeah. I'll never
You
gonna
know,
see this. Yeah.
it's like because we've all had trauma, we've all had
Hmm.
different traumas. Do
Sure.
we have to really spell out what your trauma was? No.
No, not if you want to hear my message. You know, and that brings up this question. How important is your story to your message?
It's very important because in a business talk, it earns you the right to be talking about what you're talking about. So in other
Mhm.
words, if you're selling financial services, then you want to tell people how you got into financial services, just like I did
Hmm.
how I got into public speaking. I
Right.
was lousy in the beginning. I was like everybody else.
Sure.
Made me different is I said, I want to be better. And I set a goal to be better. And I took classes and took coaching and got better and got on stage.
Yeah.
And then I
Hmm.
saw the results,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what, people need to share in their professional story. I call it
Love it.
professional,
Hmm.
and it earns them the right to be there. And again, they don't have to go into all gruesome details like, oh, I was broke and oh, I was eating, tuna fish out of a can or something.
Right.
Don't care, right?
Right.
We want to know what are you going to do for us,
Yeah.
right? So spend
Good to
that
remember. Hmm.
talking about how you've gotten better and how where you are now and rags to riches. We love rags to
Yeah.
riches.
Yeah, we do. Hmm.
Don't focus on the color of the rag, right? We don't care.
I love that. Tell the
Yeah.
story, but don't focus on the color of the rag. It's so good.
Yeah. We want to know the color of the money. That's
Yeah, that's so true. That is so good. I'm using that someplace. I don't know
okay.
where.
No, use
I'm
it.
using it.
Use
I
it
like that so
more.
much. So, Arvee, we were talking about, public speaking, and it is a learned thing. You
Learn.
can learn this. This is a skill, like tying your shoes and driving. You can learn
Yes.
this.
Yes. Absolutely.
What then are you looking for in someone to teach you, whether it be a coach, a mentor, a class, or a course? What should you be looking for as a speaker?
Okay, someone who walks the walk,
Mhm.
talks the talk, walks the walk, whatever. You don't want to get a speaking coach that doesn't speak on
Ooh,
stage, right? Think about
yeah.
it,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
like some people are, like coaches in sports. They used to be a player and
Sure.
now coach. That's one thing, but
Hmm.
as a speaking coach, because speaking does change
Yeah.
every single day, because words
Hmm.
change, you need someone that's doing it,
That's so
right?
good. Yeah.
That's still doing it. Not that used
Hmm.
to do it 10 years ago, but that's
Hmm.
still in the trenches,
In the game.
seen it and doing it now. That's number one. And then
Hmm.
number two, look for how long they've been doing it. Because I'm telling you, Ricky, you might have seen this, but I see people they've given 5 speeches and now they want to coach it, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
hello, 5 speeches and now you want to be a speaker coach. So
Yeah.
the longevity, how long? 5 years, got to be a minimum of 5 years,
I like
right?
that. Hmm.
That they've
Hmm.
been speaking or somehow in the industry before they be,
Yeah.
it's not so many
Hmm.
speeches, but they've got to be around for a while,
Yeah. Hmm.
and then have that progression, just like I learned all mine in corporate America,
Hmm.
before I did it. And I, learned it and I was teaching it even in corporate America as a
Right.
side, note. I didn't get
Hmm.
paid then, but a side note.
Yeah.
And just kind of progressed into it after
Hmm.
years of doing it. But so
Yeah.
I would look for those two things. Who's doing it? Are they
Hmm.
still doing it? And then how many years have they been doing it previous?
Yeah, that's so good. And now you can find a class anywhere at any time from zero to $50,000. You can find a course. So they are out there. Arvee, this has been so good. Again, I could not think of anybody better to be on our very first interview for this channel. You guys, look, you can find Arvee Robinson everywhere
Yeah.
on online on Amazon. You can find her on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. If you can't find her, you ain't looking. All right. I'm gonna just put it out there. You can still find her. And if you want to see some really cool stuff, Arvee, real quickly, tell the folks you are transitioning into a new chapter. What are you doing now?
Right. Well, now I'm bodybuilding, and yeah, I'm a bikini competitor, and I just did one show Saturday, and I won the first place.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Of course you
Yeah,
did.
60 divisions, 60 and up. So that was yeah.
So good.
So I'm on stages, and here's the thing, because a lot of the women, they have to have some vodka or something before they step out on stage in a
So
bikini.
good.
I don't, because of my stage experience. The public speaking, that experience translates to so many different things. And
So
2 years ago,
true.
I was in a beauty pageant, and again, we
Hmm.
had to walk the line. And it's the speaking that helps you in the stage time, that helps you do so many different things. And
Yeah.
now my next venture is the angel. There's something in it's angel something where you
Hmm.
wear big angel wings in a bikini and you walk on stage.
Wow.
That's my next thing. I mean,
I think that's the Victoria's Secret's fashion show, Arvee. Wait.
it's actually a thing, and you compete. You compete.
Wow. That
So,
is insane. That
I
is
mean,
awesome.
public speaking transfers into so many walks of
Yeah.
life. Walking down, getting married, walking down the aisle,
Yeah,
it's like,
100%.
people, just don't know the depth,
Hmm.
of that ability. And I have one client who is married to a narcissist, and she would not speak up for herself.
Wow.
And through my training, she took
Mm.
my year-long program, she started speaking up for herself, speaking up for herself, speaking up for herself. And finally, it turned out where, they did go to counseling, and
Hmm.
now he is doing some men's Bible study and men's group
Good.
to get
Hmm.
better. And he said that after 25 years, their marriage has never been better
Because she spoke
because
up.
of public speaking training.
Voice matters.
Yes.
Everybody, thank you all so much for watching this very first episode. And there's going to be more to follow. So please follow this channel, subscribe, share it with your network. And again, go over to our Facebook page and our Instagram and look me up on LinkedIn. Because, yeah, I'm still speaking, I'm on the stage. It's a whole thing. All the other information will be in the description below. And again, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Speakers Fun House. Want, 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 want. Clear. Okay.